Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Paige from Paperbacks and Lattes, and today I am going to be telling you the books that I read for July. I know this video is super late. I've just been really busy, but I did want to get this filmed before August is officially over. These are the 11 books that I read for July. The first book that I read in July was Beyond the Sea by Kiera Andrews. This is actually a reread. I did pick this for my July TBR, and I thought I had not read it. I just saw it on Hoopla. Thought the premise sounded amazing because I love like deserted island, or, you know, like crash on an island and they have to survive. I love that type of premise. And I saw this on Hoopla by Kiera Andrews and I thought it sounded great. And then I don't remember what part I was at in the book, and I realized, wait, this sounds awfully familiar. I went on to Goodreads and yes, I had read it before. It had just been a while, so I didn't really remember it all that well, so it was kind of neat, you know, going back to it. But we are following two heroes. This is an MM romance, and I don't remember their names, but they are, one is a pilot and one is the passenger. He's part of like this boy band, and they crash and they both survive in the plane crash, and they are on this deserted island. And I love the survival stories, and of course, you know, this is leading up to their romance because they're the only two on this island trying to survive, and they really have to depend on each other. And once they're rescued, they have to kind of, you know, navigate like who they are and their feelings towards each other. And I rated this one 4 stars. The only reason it wasn't a 5-star again was because of just how they worded, like how they thought of themselves trying to figure out their sexualities and stuff. Sometimes I felt like maybe the wording wasn't that great. But other than that, I really did enjoy this one. Then I continued on in the Scarlet Force series by Stunich. This, I had started the series in June and I finished it up in July. I continued with Vile Bastards by Stunich. I rated this one 5 stars. This just follows along with Scarlet Force and her boys. This is a Why Choose romance, and we follow them while they are in high school. Scarlet Force is the queen of her school. She has, you know, her girls that, you know, she leads, and they just kind of run everything. And she is a race car driver. Like, she has cars are predominantly, you know, shown in this book, which I really found fascinating. It was just a really cool aspect of this book, and she races cars, and she's trying to, you know, make it a big time. Like, she wants to become famous, but then they kind of get wrapped up with the mafia or the mob, and it's just all sorts. I think there's 5 books total in the series. So I read Vile Bastards, which was the next one. Then I read Stalking Nightmares. First I rated that one 5 stars, and then I finished the series with Merry Freaks, and I also rated that one 5 stars. I really did love this whole series by Stunich. I waited to read it until she had finished it, and it was such a complete adventure, wild ride throughout this whole series. You will not be bored with this. They do there's murder, mayhem, mystery, everything in these books, and this was such a fun series to read. The next one that I read is Playing for Keeps by Alexandria Bellefleur. I rated this one 4 stars. This is a sapphic romance, and we are following a friend of a famous football player. She's his personal assistant and starts to date this really famous singer, and they both meet, you know, they're each of their personal assistants. So they're personal assistants to the football player and the singer, and so they have a lot of interaction with each other, and this is their romance, and it was good, really, really good. Not a 5-star, but it was really good and worth the read. Then I read Perfectly Imperfect Pixie by MJ May. I listened to this on audio, and I rated this one 5 stars. I loved it. I'm pretty sure I got the recommendation from Samantha from Cozy with Samantha, I think is her channel name. I'll have her link down below. We have our Pixie, of course I can't remember his name, and he is a home and hearth Pixie. So each of the Pixies has a type of nature. So there's nature Pixies, home and hearth Pixies, where they're like, you know, want to take care of the house and things. He's a home and hearth Pixie, so he is designed to take care of a home. And he is an above average size Pixie. He is not small. Most Pixies are small, but he is just made differently. And so he's had trouble finding a job as a home and hearth pixie, and he is, at the start of the book, is currently a bouncer at a bar. He's not the right fit for it because he is a pixie regardless of his size. So the pixie is unhappy, but then he gets this opportunity. This werewolf family is needing a home and hearth pixie because the wolf shifter, has his niece and nephew because his sister was killed, and now he has these 2 children that he needs to care for, and he needs help. He hires the pixie, and this is their romance, and it's also a lot of mystery because someone is trying to sabotage the wolf shifter to try to like get the children. It's like a custody battle. This was such a good, cute story. I love the paranormal creatures we have in this world, and I rated this one 5 stars. Okay, sorry for the camera angle change. Tyler's making this filming session pretty difficult, so I tried to raise the camera up a little bit higher. So anyway, to continue on with my next read, it is Tormented Omega by Mary Magdalyn. I picked this up because Jess from Peace Love Books recommended it so much and said how it just had her in a complete chokehold, and I was hesitant at first picking it up, so I put it off for a week or 2, but then finally picked it up, and I'm so glad I did. It also had me in a similar situation. I couldn't put it down. I had to know what was happening. This character in this book went through it. So this is an Omegaverse, and we are following this Omega, V. I did remember her name. She lives with her 3 alphas. V has previously felt a lot of abandonment. She was with a pack before, and then they found their scent match, which finding a scent match is incredibly rare and very, highly sought after. It's like basically your soulmate, the one you're biologically meant to be with. And so if you bond with someone who is not your scent match, you're giving that up for forever. So they are not bonded with V, but they told her if they didn't find their scent match after 5 years, like if 5 years was up, that they would bond her. So they're a month away from it being 5 years, and the book starts out where her pack is just treating her to this like fancy night. They go out to eat, they take her to a nest store where she's picking out cozy blankets and pillows and stuff to decorate her area, and she thinks that they are going to tell her that they're going to bond her, but instead they tell her that they found their scent match, and they've known for like a couple of months, and they've been getting to know their scent match, and she is just super hurt by all of this because she has been abandoned before for this exact same issue. She doesn't want to be abandoned again. She's been with her pack for 5 years. She loves them, they love her, and now they're, it's all going to change, which they promise that they're not going to get rid of her. They love her, they want her to stay in the pack, but also to bring in their new scent match, which is Marie. And they bring Marie in, she moves in, and they are all trying to get used to this new life. They're also bringing in a new alpha, neutral to everyone, and it's just, this pack life, it has just completely changed, and V is struggling a lot because things happen during the book. Of course, they tend to kind of value their scent match over V, and I don't want to say too much, but V goes through it in this book. She goes through a lot. She's mistreated. She's just has all these issues that she has to deal with from this pack, and it's so heartbreaking what V has to go through. I cried for V during this book because the writing is just so wonderful at expressing the emotions that she goes through, and how she's just living this wonderful life, and then all of a sudden everything just turns upside down. And so I read this within a 24-hour period because I just couldn't put it down. This is part 1 of a duet, so I had to pick up the second book immediately, and this is Claimed Omega by Mary Magdalyn. I also rated this one 5 stars. I liked it just a teensy bit less than the first one, but I still enjoyed it so much. So we are following V in the second book, and of course you can't really say anything about the second book without major spoilers. So, but this is just her continuation on finding her happily ever after. And I love this duet so much. I want to read the third book in the series, which follows a brand new Pack in Omega, but the fourth book isn't out yet. So it's because it's also a duet, and I'm just waiting until it gets closer to the time. I think it's supposed to come out this fall, so I cannot wait to read it. Mary Magdalyn, this series is phenomenal. I highly recommend this duet. And then I picked up Crown Me Dead by Zander. Seen this one everywhere, on TikTok, on Instagram, everywhere. Everyone is reading this duet as well. So I picked it up. It was also a book that I just really couldn't put down. It was very intriguing, very, very different from something I've ever read. This is about this, in like the kingdom, the rot, which is like this disease, is infecting everyone. Like so many people have died. Basically, it's something that, you know, is inside, like a parasite or something is inside of you that just makes your body rot. And it's very gross. There's some really, really gross scenes in this book, which when I was reading, just couldn't believe what I was reading. But it was very intriguing, and I couldn't put it down. So this girl works as a grave digger. They bury bodies, they prepare bodies, you know, and that's just what she and her family do. And she is approached by the stranger to say, if you come and fall in love and marry the king, this will help cure the rot. And her brother has the rot, so she is desperate to save him. So she agrees to leave her home, go to the palace, and marry the king. The king also has the rot, and it is very disturbing and intriguing and just very interesting what she goes through to try to cure the rot. I rated this one 4 stars and immediately started the second book in the duet, and it is Crown Me Yours, and I rated this one 5 stars. Although it is so bittersweet, she does find her happily ever after. Like, it does have an HEA, but what continues on from the HEA is just the bittersweet part. And the ending was quite hard to read. It definitely, you know, made me sad and made me cry. But this duet was really, really great, and I really recommend it if you like dark, unusual, gross things. It definitely was very interesting and intriguing. And then I finished the month of July with Raw by Kayleigh King. This is the second book in a duet. I had read the first one last year. I believe it's Primal, if I'm not mistaken. I had been meaning to read this for a long time. I actually picked it up once, but I just wasn't, you know, in the headspace to read it. But I finally did read it, and I'm so glad I did. We are following this wolf shifter, which hers has been dormant. She has not ever actually had a wolf. She's not shifted into a wolf. She helps run this Omega sanctuary where they rescue Omegas that have been kidnapped and, you know, sold into slavery and horrible things done to. So this is what she does, and she ends up finding her mate in book 1, and he rejects her. So the second book is all about him groveling to try to get her back, and I love this one. If you love a rejected mate, you should definitely pick this duet up by Kayleigh King. It is so good. And they're also having to fight this unknown, you know, who's stealing the Omegas, and they don't know where it's coming from. And he does do a lot of groveling to win her back, and she gets sick from the rejected mate, you know, sickness. And so there's like a lot of, you know, caretaking where he's trying to care for her, because, you know, it's what he caused, but he thought he was doing a noble thing, and it's just because he's the alpha of the pack. So it's very, very good. I love the duet. I'm so glad I picked a Raw up finally. Those are the 11 books that I read in July. Let me know what you picked up in July. What was your favorite read of July? Mine was definitely Tormented Omega. That is it's just living rent free in my head, and I still continue to think about it. And I want something like it. So if you have any recommendations, feel free to leave it in the comments. And I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.